What's up YouTube, Jeff back from Sammy Guru here, and today another very exciting Samsung video for you guys. Today I have something very special. I now have One UI 8.0 running on a Galaxy S25 Ultra, and I also have some great news for those of you who would like to test out One UI 8.0. The beta program is going to launch very soon, and the stable launch is not going to be far behind that. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the build I have running here, a little bit about when you can expect the beta to launch and when we can expect stable to launch based on some statements that have been found. Now, this is not going to be a full walkthrough of all the features that I found, first of all, because I'm going to save that for a later video because I've only had it for about 16 hours. I want to spend some more time with it. Also, I'm probably going to get some newer builds as I get them and install them. Before we get started, make sure you guys check out our website, sammyguru.com, covering the latest Samsung news, tips, tricks, tutorials, and reviews. We did post some information about the summer launch of One UI 8.0 yesterday. Get in on the mystery box program, tap on the orange banner. If you're going to order an S25 Edge, you can go here and order your S25 Edge and get in on the mystery box program. You can also get in the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 signups. You get a free case, cleaning kit, desktop phone stand, other randomly inserted goodies. All you have to do is use our Samsung affiliate link. We pay for the program. Using the proceeds from that, we cover shipping. We cover all the products that go in there. Check it out in the pinned comment description if you're interested. So before we get into the launch information, let me show you guys here. You can see I am running One UI 8.0, Android 16, which you can see right there, the cool Android 16 animation on my S25 Ultra. Now let me answer some questions for you guys. First of all, this is the build ending in BYEA, which is a beta build. It's one of the early test beta builds for the upcoming beta, which people will be able to enroll in very soon. We'll talk about in a second. This build is not the newest one. There is another one that's slightly newer as of making this video on May 14th. I'm going to try to install that one and then do some analysis of what's new there. There's a couple of new things that I've seen people post over on X. Now, in terms of can you install this yourself on a US phone, the answer is no. This is a build that can only be installed on an international device for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. This is an international model, unlocked. That is basically all the leaked builds that have come out are for that model. Now, I'm not going to tell anyone how to install this. If you have the appropriate model and you do a little research on XDA, on X, other places, Reddit, you'll probably be able to figure it out. But I don't want to entice someone who may not really know what they're doing or know what they're getting into. This is not something you should run in your daily driver. There's a lot of drawbacks of doing this as well, and some potential things you need to overcome when installing this. Obviously, it's not even the official beta. This is a leaked build. So now that we've got that out of the way, I can tell you guys a couple of things I've noticed. Obviously, a lot of people have noticed some of the blur has changed around the interface. Previously leaked, the gallery menu has changed. It's got some nice looking blur down here on the gallery menu pop-up. Lots of pop-ups have lots of new blur effects to them. The animations have also changed a bit comparing to my S25 Ultra that's on One UI 7. It's definitely a little bit snappier on the stock animations. They've just changed the general, I think what Samsung calls the emotiveness of it, which is basically how fast it animates back, like app icon animations and stuff. It's been slightly changed a little bit, tweaked a little bit. You can definitely tell. There's quite a few other interesting changes, which I'll go through further in the next video where I do a full rundown. The notification menu has been completely redesigned in a lot of ways. A lot of the various things like sort and filter, they've been grouped together. They still have manage notification categories buried in advanced settings. I really wish they would fix that. They made some changes to the battery menu when it comes to battery protection. You guys can see, I'll go through those in a little more in depth. And then they made some massive overhauls to Secure Folder. We actually wrote an article about this. Now with Secure Folder, you can set up separate fingerprints. So my thumb is actually my unlock fingerprint, you guys can see here. But if you go into Secure Folder, check it out, my thumb doesn't work because it lets you set up a separate fingerprint for Secure Folder, which I use my index finger. So this is because Secure Folder now uses the private space API, and you can see there's the option to hide Secure Folder as well. So that is also something new. There's quite a few other things that are coming that will be coming up in this build that I haven't installed yet. That is an update to the one I have. There's the ability to read the now brief. DevOps, I'll put a link to his X in the description. I can never pronounce it correctly. DevOps over on X. He leaked this stuff, including the ability to have it read your now brief aloud. There's also a new animation when you open your notifications in that build. I'm hoping I can install it and demonstrate some of those things for you guys in the full video. Anyway, I'm very excited to have One UI 8 early because obviously I can make a lot more content, and also I can kind of update you guys on the progression as we get to the actual beta launch. But a lot of you guys probably want to know, well, when will that actual beta launch occur? The actual beta launch is now scheduled to arrive in May, so around 2 weeks away, really 1 week, because we wrote this on May 8th. Probably in the 3rd or 4th week of May, Samsung could launch the beta program, which will be probably for the Galaxy S25 series at first only. You'll have to make sure, as always, that you have your Samsung members application updated. I don't even know if I have members on here yet. I don't, because this is an international model. I had to reset it to put One UI 8. But make sure you download Samsung members, which of course, you can go and get from the Galaxy Store. It also depends on the region you're in, where you can obtain it, but you can obtain it from the Galaxy Store. Install that. That's where the beta banner will be if you're in an eligible country, probably UK, Germany, Korea, US, right away. You need an unlocked model, or in the US, you can also use T-Mobile. But not only that, yesterday Google held their Android show to preview Google I/O and all the Android information at Google I/O. And it was officially confirmed at that event that One UI 8.0 will launch later this summer. Google revealed in that show during one of the sessions where they were talking about Android 16, because of course Android 16 is actually going to launch in June, that several other OEMs would be rolling this out, and Samsung was one of the OEMs who said they'd be rolling out Android 16, which of course is what One UI 8.0 is based on, later this summer. Now, it's not a huge surprise because we already have heard One UI 8.0 will come first in stable to the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7, but if the beta is starting at the end of May for the S25 series, I would guess probably the week after the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 launch in July, we're probably going to get the S25 stable launch rollout almost immediately, because that's almost 2 months of testing, and this is not a massive update like we saw with One UI 7. It's more of a tweak from what I've seen so far, just a general overview of what they're trying to do here. They're trying to, tune up some of the animation things, clarify some of the things that were added to One UI 7 that maybe weren't clear in terms of features, improve some of those things like the ability to have your now brief read aloud to you, obviously adding some blur elements in various places to make the UI look a little cleaner, look a little nicer, a little prettier. But they're not trying to make any sweeping changes. Now, the one thing I'd really like to see still that I think would go along with that whole ethos is if they could change this advanced setting, manage notification categories for each app, and just put it up here right below app notifications in the regular notifications menu. That would really help because it's not an advanced setting. There's a lot of average users who want to change their ringtones for each app or their notification sounds, and they can't do it without enabling that. So every year I make a video telling people how to do it, but if Samsung would just put it here, people would probably find it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want me to cover from One UI 8.0 now that I have these early builds and as we get into the beta. Really excited. Of course, I'll still be covering all the other updates, more One UI 7 stuff, because I know people are just getting it and some people are frustrated with things. So feel free to keep dropping questions about that as well. Check us out at sammyguru.com. Make sure you get in the mystery boxes if you're interested in buying an upcoming device. Appreciate you guys checking it out. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.